welcome everyone to our sixth Northwest Business Meeting of 2022. My name is Michelle Sharritt, and I am one of the founders and owners of the Northwest Business Network and our four other powerful networking groups, the Oak Brook, Naperville, North Shore, and Windy City Business Networks. Before we begin this morning, I'd like to tell you just a little bit more about our groups and how we started. Our groups were started back in 2008 on LinkedIn, and they've grown to be the largest networking groups online. We decided to take the groups live about 4 years ago. We trademarked the names, and we now have over 331 paid members. During the pandemic, we had to shift our focus for our paid membership from meeting in in-person events to offering more advertising opportunities to our members. We've decided to continue those advertising opportunities with our members, so it is included with our membership now. Our membership is $3.99 a year, which is a steal once you find out what you get with that. The first thing that you get is a 30-minute podcast interview on our podcast called Windy City Biz. We have over 110,000 subscribers. We take that podcast and we break up the video and the audio, and we put the audio on the podcast, and the video is put onto our YouTube channel. It's also put onto a blog post as well that goes out to over 6,500 newsletter subscribers that we have. It also goes on our social media platforms. So we have 5 networking groups. Each of those 5 groups is on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So that's 15 different social media outlets where your story will get posted. We also do 3 shout outs per year on our podcast interviews. So whenever we do an interview, we always do a shout out to a few of our members at the end of each podcast. That's more exposure. Then all of your online and in-person events are included with your membership. That's your monthly meetings. All Zooms are obviously free, but when we do meet in person, the room costs, breakfast, speakers, all of those fees are taken care of for you. Also included in that are our happy hour events. We hold one happy hour event each month, and your ticket is free to that. We also hold several formal charity sit-down dinners where half the proceeds go to a charity of our choice. These tickets are over $150 value to the public, but yours is included with your membership. We have an upcoming happy hour event coming up next Wednesday, June 15th at Noon Whistle Brewery in Naperville from 5:30 to 7. Included in your ticket are 2 drink tickets, food, and a few hours of networking with other local business owners. It's always a good time. It's a great way to check out our group if you're kind of on the fence of membership. You get to talk to members. As well as it's a great networking opportunity. And they have awesome beer, and the food that we bring in is always different. So it's always a good time. We are still growing and would love to have you become a member as well. So if you'd like to become a member, just visit our website at nwbiz.net. Now let's go ahead and get started today because I am your speaker, so you're going to be listening to me for a while. Everyone's muted, obviously, on Zoom. On Facebook Live, if you have any questions, please just type them in the comment section, and we'll go ahead and address those questions at the very end. If you're on Zoom, if you could please do the same and just type your questions in the chat box. This is being recorded. If you're on Zoom, you can see that. Facebook Live people, we are recording. So if you have to hop out, come back, you're going to miss something, don't worry about it because the recording will be made available on our website by the end of the day. So again, I want to welcome all of you to our talk today, the 6 easy steps that will make your website a lead gen machine. This is being brought to you by my company called QCamp. Again, my name is Michelle Sharritt. And my company, QCamp, is a digital marketing firm located here in Naperville. We're a full digital marketing firm, meaning that we create user-friendly websites. We also do social media marketing, SEO strategy, Google ads, all that good stuff. Anything to get you out there on the internet and online. So what's the best way to do that? Through your website. Our parent company is called Situated Research, and Situated Research is a usability firm where we have 6 PhDs on staff that specialize in different areas of usability, also information architecture, communication, psychology, and so on. And so what we do at QCamp is every website that we create, we run through the gamut of user testing, and we also always link up a PhD expert with each website project so that we can make sure that the website's user-friendly. User-friendly means a lot of things to a lot of people. But what it means to us and what user-friendly does mean is that not only does your website work, but your website's functional, meaning the user experience is a good one. Meaning when a user comes to your website, they've come for a purpose, they find what they're looking for instantly, the menu navigation makes sense, the labeling makes sense, the layout of the pages makes sense. And the user doesn't have to guess at anything. Especially if you have an e-commerce site, you want that user journey to be short, sweet, and to the point because you basically just want them to purchase something on your website, love your product, and give you guys leads. So we're going to talk about all of that today. It's all encompassed together in the 6 easy steps that will make your website a lead gen machine. So today we're going to talk about the overview of digital lead generation. We're also going to talk about business analysis. So how do you look at your business and figure out what you need to do to make your website a lead gen machine? What services are you providing? What products are you providing that are your top services and products that you want to get out there? Then we're going to talk about landing page creation and design. I'm going to give away some resources as well. We're going to talk about email marketing and social media, of course, because how do we get your product out to the public? It's not just through your website. We're going to talk about SEO or search engine optimization. Along with that, we're going to talk about paid ads, and then we'll summarize at the end. So again, my name is Michel Sharritt. I am the Vice President of QCamp, again, a full digital marketing firm located here in Naperville. I am also the Vice President and owner of Situated Research, our usability firm. You can go to our website at qcamp.com to learn more about us. So today, you're here because you either want your website or your digital marketing to generate more leads for your business. Who doesn't want more leads? And as a business owner, you're wearing so many hats. I know because I'm a business owner of 2 local businesses and I wear a lot of hats. And I'm horrible at delegating, horrible. And so, I mean, it took us several years to even get an accountant because I was like, I can do it. But of course, as you bring in more projects and you're, more business, you can't keep up with that demand. So some of you are here because, you're like, I want my website to be a lead generating machine. I want to get leads from my website, but I just don't know how to go about that. You may not have a web developer or a marketing person that you can refer to. And so you're here to get a little bit more information, which is great. Or you're thinking that your digital marketing just isn't up to snuff. So you want to build that up and you want to pump it up a little bit more to generate more leads for your business. And some of you are here because you want to have a plan. You have no plan in place right now. So hopefully today you will be able to take away from this talk an actual plan that you can implement on your own. Now, does that mean that you're going to want to do it? Probably not. Does that mean that you're going to have the time to do it? Maybe, maybe not. A lot of business owners that we talk to come to these workshops like this. They gain a lot of information. They go back, they implement it for a few months, and then they get overwhelmed with it, and it kind of falls to the wayside. And then they hire a marketing person. So it's really up to you. Some business owners continue it and do very, very well, and then come back, for us to reevaluate what they've been doing online with their website and their digital marketing. So everybody's in a different boat. You don't necessarily have to jump right in right away. You can kind of just soak in what I talk about today and then take it piece by piece. That's what I always tell our clients. So step one definitely is the business analysis of your business. You have to determine which products or services are your best sellers. Which products and services are the most desirable to your audience, to the people who are going to purchase from you. And then not even that, maybe you have a top product or a service that's your best seller, most desirable, but your profit just isn't there. It's not profitable for you. So it really, a lot of people, they come to us, they're like, I need digital marketing, or I need my website to build leads for me. And we have to first step in and evaluate your business. So there's some business development that goes on, and sometimes some counseling as well, that leads into this piece. But what we do is we look at your analytics, we look at your profit margins, and we also look at your client feedback, evaluations, and referrals, and all of that, and different reviews online all play into this. And so you always have to be listening to your customers. That's great that you're selling a lot of products and services, but are your customers happy? Do you follow up with them? Is there a plan in place to follow up with them? And if not, then that needs to occur. So you look at what sells. We examine our sales, we examine our profit margins. We look to see, oh, item 1 is doing really poorly, but item 4 is off the charts. What are we doing that's different with item 4 promoting it than item 1? Or is it the product or the service? So it's a lot of evaluation. It's a lot of, diving deep into your business, because some business owners we talk to, and we do this, and we're like, 2 of the things that you're selling just aren't doing very well, but you're doing really good marketing it. Let's do some audience focus groups, and let's actually look and evaluate the people and your customers who are purchasing these products. And then sometimes we find out, hey, these items just aren't selling well. Your clients and customers just really don't like this item or product. It doesn't speak to them. It doesn't help them in any way. Let's drop it. And we've done that a few times and focused on the top sellers. Maybe it's just one item or service. Maybe it's a few. So you look at your top selling products. You look to see what your profit margins are. And are these items or products or services less desirable? Are they popular? Do they have higher margins? Do they just simply need better marketing? So we need to evaluate all of this. So some people are like, oh, I want to hire a digital marketer to make me posts on Facebook and get the word out about my business and my product. Okay, there's so much more that goes into it, as now you're finding out. So just step 1 with the analysis is a very lengthy process. That takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to do. And it also includes us creating a marketing plan for you, for your website, for your digital marketing, etc. Step 2, now that we figured out what your top sellers are, products or services, now what we want to do is captivate your audience. But not just any audience, your target audience. Some clients don't even know who their target audience is. They're like, oh, it's the general public. I sell this product to the general public. No. The entire public cannot be your target audience. There's demographics involved. There's, different components. And so what we do here at QCamp is we do persona research. Personas are basically an outline of who each of your customers are. So you could have an audience where you sell one product to teenagers. So we make a persona type for that teenager. We call her Sally. We give her a name and a picture. And we write out, oh, Sally likes to skateboard. She likes to do this. She likes to eat out, whatever. We make it up, but it's based off of the research that we do with your customers to figure out these different persona types. And then you may have a product where you're selling to 80-year-olds in the Chicago area only. So, it could be all over the place. But we try to come up with at least 3 solid persona types. So when we figure out who your target audience is, we then can create landing pages for these products that are your top sellers to these persona types to grab the attention of these customers or clients. So grabbing their attention, we have to ask ourselves, what user experience does your landing page create? I had a client yesterday who called up, long story short, their website got all messed up from a different developer. We had to fix it. And then there were some landing pages that were missing when we had to redo their website and bring it back up because the old website got deleted. So we are creating these new landing pages now. And so we're having these discussions, and we had one discussion yesterday and they couldn't remember what was on the landing page. They couldn't remember what product they were selling on the landing page or telling consumers about. And they just knew that they were getting at least 100 leads from this landing page per day, and they wanted it back. And we're like, okay, well, what was that? So we're kind of going through that recreation stuff. But that's one example. They created a landing page. We created it for them initially. And they got 100 leads from it daily. That's huge. And that's what you guys want to do. So some common landing page problems. First of all, some people don't even know what a landing page is. So let's just put that to rest right now. I'm getting some questions on Facebook. So a landing page basically is a page on your website that you create to promote something that you're selling. And it's a page where you have a special link to it. It's created by your web developer, and you get leads through it. So there's usually a form on it. You usually give the user something. In return, you get their information. So that's what a landing page is. Sometimes these landing pages are poorly designed in a way, meaning the brand messaging, the overall messaging, the marketing just isn't there. It's not convincing me as a user to want to fill out your form to download whatever I'm going to download or whatever I'm going to get, because I want to get something. I'm not going to give you my information for nothing. Sometimes it's a confusing user experience. We started a workshop. It was last year during COVID. And it was based off of our market research for our industry in marketing, online marketing. And we noticed that a lot of people were on Facebook promoting workshops for social media and marketing. So we attended these workshops to do our user research and our competitor research. And they would have you eventually go to a landing page selling their course, of course. And the page was just, you scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and it was like insane amount of information. It was just paragraphs after paragraphs, just a video popped in or a picture popped in, but it just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. And they were all like this. There wasn't one that was good. And this is a landing page that you're bringing folks to. And I don't know if they were just trying to overwhelm people to be like, hey, marketing's hard. Here's all this barfed up information. It basically felt like someone just barfed up a bunch of information on a page. And it was confusing as all heck. And then the form was at the very end. And I'm like, are people really reading all of this and filling out the form? People were filling out the form because they got freaked out reading the content, but they didn't read all the content. And at Situated Research, our parent company, we do user research all the time. So we know that users don't scroll. Then when you think about it yourself, when you're on a website, you don't scroll through a lot of information unless you really need something and you just can't find it, and you know that this is the only source where you can find it, then you might. But 95% of users online don't scroll. So these are horribly designed landing pages. Well, maybe not. I mean, now that that just came out of my mouth, maybe not, because the content did scare people to fill out the form at the end. So messaging. But typically a landing page, you don't want to have them scroll and scroll. You want it to be short and sweet, and tell them what they're going to get for giving you their information. Some of these landing pages aren't secure at all, which online you want to make sure that your landing pages are secure because you're asking for my information, usually my name and email address. And if the page isn't secure, guess what? I don't have trust in you. I don't have trust in your company. I'm out of there. So you want to make sure that it's secure along with your website as well. And there's also unclear calls to action. Some of the labeling on the buttons just doesn't make sense. Or it's not labeled in a way where you know, hey, I click here and this is what I'm going to get. Or it's hard to complete your goal, like those scrolling pages. It's like, okay, there's no end in sight. It just goes on and on and on. When do I fill out the form? Like, I want to just sign up for this course. So you have to really make sure that your landing page is concise, gets to the point, has clear calls to action, and the messaging is there so that the user who comes to this page knows exactly what they're going to get if they give you information. Step 3 is examine your call to action. So we kind of just touched upon that a little bit. But we need to look at what the end goal is for this landing page. What do you want to get out of this? What are you going to do with the information that you obtain from this page? Because remember, you're trying to get leads through your website. You're trying to make these people be potential customers in the future, hopefully the near future. So what are your goals? What do you want your potential client to do on the landing page? And what do you get in return? And what are you going to do with that information? So everybody just doesn't think about this. And they're like, I need a landing page because I want to get leads. Let's just take our top product. I think it's this, and let's just create a page. There's so much more involved, as you guys are hearing right now. Some people are on Facebook saying, oh my God, I had no idea that you would have to do all of this. But it makes sense. It does make sense. You have to understand your audience. You have to understand your business. You don't want to waste time on products and services that aren't doing anything for you. And you want to get leads. So you have to examine the call to action. Did we compel the user to take action? How powerful is our message? Do they want to give us their information? Are users compelled to do anything on this page? And how easy is it to do? Are your contact forms short, sweet, and easy? Or are you asking for a lot of information? Some people overdo it. And they're like, well, I want to make sure this is a legit lead. So I need their phone number, the URL to their business site, this, that, and the other. And it's like, oh my gosh, should I just give you my social security number 2 and you can do a credit check? No. You want it to be short and simple, so it's usually just a name and an email address. That usually is a way that you can contact people. Because then if you get their email address, you have to get the email address. That is a must. Then you can send them information. You can sign them up for the newsletter, whatever. And then what does that follow-up look like? So are they going to get a newsletter? Are they going to have to download something? Are they getting, a document that's going to be helpful for them in their business? This is an example of a form that was on a client of ours website. So just take a minute and check this out. As you can see, it's very long. The information that this client was asking for was insane. Now, this client is a client of ours who does international trade, okay? So they're working with people all over the globe. So his point to us was, I need to have all of these fields in the form on the landing page to make sure that they are a legit lead. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. Okay. Now, I understood because he did international trade. It's all over the globe. His website's, getting attacked all the time by bots. So it's like, yeah, you want to make sure that the lead is legit. But you want to bring in a lead slowly. You don't want to overwhelm them. And the other thing too is you see all these asterisks. That means required fields. And everything was required. So we're like, then don't have an asterisk. But what we did is we took this form and we simplified it. And what we did is we simply asked, we had one field for their name. We had one field for their email address. And then we had a few questions for the company information that they could just click on. And then they would hit submit and they would get downloaded a document about international trade and the steps to do that. This form was way too long. And he's like, no one's filling it out. He's like, maybe one person has. He's like, and it was a legit lead. And granted, when he gets a lead for international trade, you're talking about a couple $100,000 and a contract. So I get it. But one lead every like 8 months isn't good. We want one lead a day at least. So we had to simplify this. Now he's getting 10 leads a day, between 10 and 15. And 5 of those are legitimate. So if his contracts are a couple $100,000, he's done pretty well now. But you don't, my whole point here is that you don't want lengthy forms because they can cause users to abandon your landing page. Think about when you guys go to a website and then, or you're on social media and you're brought to a landing page, you click on it, and it just goes on and on and on, or it's asking for too much information, or users are always like, why do they need that? Why do they need my phone number? Well, because they're going to try to call me. Now I'm going to be on some calling list. So you have to think like a user all the time. You also have to have a clear value proposition. This is always interesting. This ad is from Apple. This is an Apple landing page. And it shows users what they can do with new products rather than focusing on the specs of the product. So if you ever go to Apple, does an amazing job with this. And the reason that this is so amazing is because I get to actually see how this product works. So if you're selling services, obviously this is different, but there's different ways that we can kind of present it on the landing page that kind of does the same thing. But Apple does a great job because I can actually say, oh, this new iPhone, I'm going to actually see what it does. I could see how it works. I could see the camera and what kind of pictures it's going to capture. I can see all of this. It's also easy to take action. So messages have to be simple and you have to have the user journey in mind all the time. You have to make sure that the user journey is easy and to the point. So if you bring someone to a landing page, they need to know right away what they're going to get and also how they're going to get it. So definitely want to make sure that you think about the user journey. What we do here at QCamp and Situated Research is we write out the user journey for each of those persona types. So that teenager that we made, Sally, our first persona, she has a user journey. That 80-year-old that we talked about in Chicago, she has a user journey. So you always have to be thinking about that. And the way that you do that is through user research. Then we need to look at sales conversions. And so we want compelling users to take action. We don't want anyone to waste our time. Okay? That's the worst thing. The worst thing is to get a bunch of leads through a landing page and there's no conversions. So it's you versus them. Does the landing page use language that talks about you, the business, or the user, and you're solving a problem for them? Brand messaging is huge. Even in digital marketing, when we're doing Facebook ads and Instagram ads and posts or blog posts or whatever, you don't want to talk about you all the time. And if we have a bunch of people on here that I recognize that are in sales, salespeople, a good salesperson never talks about themselves. They always figure out what your pain point is and they help you to solve it. And that's how they sell. So tip, most of the salespeople I'm seeing here on Facebook are members. So you guys already know that. But that's a good tip if you're new to sales. Also have a clear value proposition. So how well does your product or service meet the needs of your potential clients or customers? So once you figure out what their problems are and you have a list per persona, then you can figure out, are your products and services helping them? Do you have anything that's helping their pain point? And if not, sometimes you have to recreate the wheel. And engaging content always has between 6 to 8 touch points. As sales people who are on here, you know that it always takes 6 to 8 touch points to make a sale. Really depends on the product or the service that you're selling. So how does your landing page fit in that overall engagement strategy? We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about email marketing. And we're going to talk about search engine optimization, or SEO. Step 4 is give resources. So you get to this landing page, you're intrigued to even click to go to the landing page. So first, that content has to be really spot on. You get your user to the landing page, and then what? So now they have a message. They're reading the message. They're like, oh, that sounds good. What do they get? So you have to decide what they get. Do they get a guide? You could generate leads with how-to guides, downloads, a blog article. We work with a mortgage company, so they're one of our clients. And so we have a landing page where they can download a PDF where it gives them the steps to start the mortgage process and how to get ready for that. So that's always a good lead gen for them. We also can do webinars. So sometimes you can generate interest with webinars, workshops, in-person seminars, subscriptions, ebooks, PDFs. Those are powerful as well. But the big thing is to lead capture. So if you give, let's just use the mortgage company. We give them a downloadable PDF for the 10 steps to lead up to asking for a mortgage. So get your ducks in order. This is what you need to do. And so that, then we get their information, and then that goes to the different mortgagers who then are like, okay, these people want to get a mortgage. They need help to get to the step to even apply for a mortgage. So then those leads go to those different mortgagers that can help them. I don't even know if they're called mortgagers, if that's even a word, but the agents at the mortgage company. And then those people who handle those types of leads are doing that. And they get those leads. So it's very helpful. And then they can keep track of them. They can walk them through their journey and then take them through their customer client journey as well. So you have to figure out what you're going to give. 47% of buyers look at 3 to 5 pieces of content before reaching out to a sales rep. This is true on anything. So you need to engage your audience and promote your products and services, and then share content that engages a wider network with more touch points. So that could lead into email marketing. You could have someone sign up for your newsletter, and then in your email marketing every month, don't do it every week, please. It's too often. Do it twice a month at the most, because people will fall off or unsubscribe. But make sure those touch points are then in that email marketing as well. You can also do print resources. So you could do printed collateral. You could do traditional marketing with articles, brochures, printed flyers, direct mail. You could do traditional ads as well, advertisements, coupons in local publications, newspapers, magazines. Some industry experts write books. And so then the book is something that you can get in the mail by filling out a form on a landing page. There's all types of things that you could do. Step 5 now is your cross-platform engagement. So this is where we talk about email marketing, your website, search engines, and social media. For email marketing, like I said, you want to be regular, but you don't want to bombard them because they will unsubscribe. So our rule of thumb here with our clients is if you want to send out more than just one monthly newsletter, do it twice a month, and that's it. Otherwise, the unsubscribe rate is going to be crazy. And software like MailChimp and other platforms, we typically use MailChimp with our clients. If you have too many people unsubscribe, they might demote your account. So you want to make sure that it's engaging content that people actually signed up for, because what that tells MailChimp is that, oh, you have all these unsubscribes. These people didn't legitimately sign up for your newsletter. You bought a list and dumped it into our software. And so then you get demoted. So you don't want that to happen. You want to offer sales in the email marketing or reminders for things as well. On your website, again, you want compelling landing pages that are going to convert with clear value propositions. Clear messaging is key on all of this stuff. And making sure that your message is getting out there as well in a clear and concise way is important too. On the search engines, you want to generate interest. So we use paid ads, we use Google ads, we do SEO, search engine optimization on the back end of your website. And we do local search as well, because that does draw interest. So when you type in local search is basically, and I'll show you in just a minute, if I type Google pizza, pizzerias near me, that lists all the local pizzerias that are near me. So that's my interest. Social media, you want to announce new products or services, features, or initiatives, and engage with people. So, in 2020, $139.8 billion was spent on digital ads. This is Google, Instagram, and Facebook. Now that Facebook owns Instagram, any ad that you put on Facebook automatically goes on to Instagram, which is kind of nice. There's some savings there. Google is still huge. And of course, there's other platforms as well. But these are the three that we use here at QCamp. Excuse me. So we have customers who come to us who are like, I've spent $500 a month on Google ads and have gotten nothing from it. Or Facebook, whatever. So then we look at and we evaluate. And we say, okay, we look at your ad. We make sure that it has all the keywords that it needs to have. So that way it's brought up on Google. That's important. But we also want to look at the messaging, and then we want to look at the personas and the user journey and your products and your services that you're selling. And maybe this isn't a good match for this product. So we have to go all the way back to that business development that we talked about in the earlier steps this morning. And we always find something. Either the wrong keywords are being used, they didn't do keyword research, they didn't do competitor research, all kinds of things. Or they don't even know who their audience is. Excuse me. So, especially with Google ads, you want to make sure that you're hitting your target demographic and that you have those keywords in place. Otherwise, you're going to be clickbait. I call it clickbait because your ad will come up for whatever keywords you put in there, where you didn't do your research, just what you thought they should be. And then people are just clicking on them and you're getting charged and getting nothing from it. So you don't want that to happen. So you kind of see how all this kind of pieces together. 67% of clicks go to the first 5 search results in Google. Makes sense. When we do a Google search, that's what we do. I rarely go to page 2. And I would say 98%, maybe 99% of our user base that we've tested since 2008, which is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, don't do it either. So you have to really think about that. So you really want to optimize your website so that your website comes up when someone types in mortgage company in Chicago. I want to be on the first page. Now, this is something that takes keyword research, competitor research. We have a software where we can look at your top 3 competitors and see how much they're spending on Google Ads. And that's always interesting. I always have, like, with the mortgage company, the one mortgage company that we're working with, we work with several, but this one in particular, they were like, oh, we want to compete with Guarantee Rate, and we want to compete with Compass, and we want to, the big dogs. And we're like, you're just a small, no, we're not, blow, like this guy was just going on and on. Okay, I don't want to argue with you, fine. This report will show you how much they're spending in Google Ads. Turned out that, I forget which one, but let's just say Guarantee Rate was spending $20,000 in Google Ads per month. My client was spending $50 and wanted to increase that to $100. The other competitor of theirs, let's just say Compass, was doing even more. And so my client was like, oh my God, I can't afford that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So how do we compete? We compete by looking at the keywords during our SEO. He didn't even have SEO done on his website. So we had to do all of that. And a lot of our clients too, we do all of that and they don't see results right away. And that's because it's organic. We're not paying to be on page 1 of Google. We're doing all the hard work, and now people have to come to your website, which is digital marketing, advertising, however you want to get people to your website. And then that traffic has to build up. So it can happen as soon as a month, depending on how much traffic comes to your site. And sometimes it could take 6 months. And some people are just like, they want instant gratification. So it doesn't work that way. But you definitely want to do your research. So this was, that was the example I had in here. Pizza delivery Naperville. And so that's your local search. When people do a local search, let's say for the mortgage companies in Chicago, you want to be on this list. So 30% of mobile searches are related to location or something nearby because you're on the go, right? 76% of them visit a business within a day when searching for something nearby. Pretty interesting, right? So you want to make sure that you are on this list. And how do you do that? Well, SEO. You can also use ads to generate leads. So that's what we're going to talk about next. So Google Ads, pay-per-click. This is a great way to draw customers that are searching for those specific keywords or key phrases related to your business. And that's by interest, nearby location, whatever it is. So you want to make sure that you optimize your rank for your website, and you want to make sure that you're high on that ranking, and you never want to lose it, which means some clients are like, oh, well, you did SEO for me. It's been 2 months. It's working now. Awesome. And then they think they're done with SEO. No. You always have new competitors coming out. You always have new products, new services, even if your business doesn't change. Now, with SEO, you have to look at your website and be like, oh, is the content on my website changing? Because if it's not, Google drops your rank. So you want to make sure that you're updating your content at least monthly. The best way to do that is through blog posts. But those posts, and anything that you put, any content on your website have to contain those keywords and key phrases as well. It's a lot involved, right? You can do Facebook ads as well. And again, those instantly go on Instagram now. But using your social networks to promote your business brand and engage your audience is always important. LinkedIn ads too, it stimulates business growth and with enticing videos now that you can put on LinkedIn and different content and promotions that LinkedIn is now allowing you to do. You definitely can generate leads through that, and by sending them from these ads to a landing page on your website. You want to generate growth, and the only way to do that is to engage your audience, compel them, and then convert those users into buyers. It's kind of this called snowball effect. So you get someone to search, your website comes up, your business, they're intrigued, they go to a landing page, they fill out the form, you get their lead generation information. What do you do with it? Is it compelling? And are they going to convert eventually? So, like I said, content marketing is the snowball effect. You have to captivate your audience using Google Ads, social media, SEO, free resources, whatever, to draw interest. Then you need to engage with that audience by creating clear, powerful landing pages with a clear value proposition. And then give them a compelling action. Create an easy, straightforward call to action, and you'll get higher conversion rates. There's also the ripple effect on sales. Marketing raises those touch points. Remember we said earlier, 6 to 8 touch points before anyone will purchase from you? That's true. And so those touch points need to be marketed very well. So content marketing, those resources, ads that you're generating are gaining that interest. And then you raise engagement. So regular exposure to your brand raises awareness. Just making the user familiar with your company, with your products, with your services, with you. And be authentic. I don't have that on here, but just be authentic. That makes you trustworthy. And it just makes you an overall good person too, and business owner. And then create those landing pages to generate leads. Make sure that they're simple, powerful, clear, because they will boost your sales. Content marketing strategy. So this is something that all the things that we've talked about today, we do for you here at QCamp. And we put that in a content marketing strategy for you. So Warren Buffett said, life is like a snowball. The important thing is finding wet snow and a really long hill. So think about that for a minute. If I have a lot of wet snow, I can make a pretty big snowball, right? And if I have a hill, I can make it even quicker. Some people get that, some people don't. But we love this quote just because it really encompasses everything that has to be done, which is the wet snow, to create a strong marketing strategy. And you want that long hill because you want it long lasting and you want to keep building upon it. That's a better way to explain it. So we have created a 1-week workshop to create a lead generating business for you. So this is for 5 days. That's 1 hour per day. It's on a Facebook Live group. We answer all of your questions as we go. There is homework each day. We do usually have participants do their homework, sometimes not. And you also get a workbook each day to follow as well. We do talk about different topics on these 5 days. So we talk about lead generation, content development, your website, landing pages, white papers, sales funnels, you name it. And then we actually put it into action. So you get set up with a business coach for the week. You can ask any questions that you want, day or night. And your coach will review and give you tips on your current digital marketing or the plan that you've created through the workshop. So it's kind of nice. This is for business owners who are like, yeah, I don't have the resources to hire a marketing person. I want to kind of attempt this on my own. And so then we go into more detail during this workshop. The workshop's $3.99 for those of you who have attended today. If you're on Facebook Live, we are taking your names off of there. So if you write in the comment section that you want to take advantage of this, just let us know. You can DM us as well. This basically is a plan for you to get your business on the right track. This is important. So I'm going to end. I want to thank all of you for attending today. Again, my name is Michel Sharritt. I am the Vice President of QCamp, a full digital marketing firm located here in Naperville, where we create user-friendly websites. We do social media marketing, SEO strategies, Google Ads, marketing strategies. And today, the Northwest Business Network, really played a big role in having me speak today. Not only am I one of the owners and co-founders of the group, but we have, like I said, over 300 paid members. And they really wanted me to speak on this topic. I have spoken on this topic before to our groups. So we've added some new things in there that hopefully have helped you out today. So we are going to go ahead and see if there are any questions that we have. So if you're on Zoom here, if you want to write your questions in the chat box, we'll go ahead and address those. And if you're on Facebook, I'll go ahead and review those now. So a lot of comments saying a lot of information, a little overwhelming. I get that. I try not to overwhelm in these workshops because I don't like to freak people out, especially business owners, because like I said, I'm a business owner of 2 businesses and I know how it can get. But honestly, if you take it piece by piece in baby steps, you can do this. Definitely is something that is workable for you. Someone's saying that I did do Google Ads. I hired someone to do them. I was spending $500 a month. However, the Google Ad information analytics did not match with my Google Analytics. That's interesting. I have found that with Facebook ads, because when we run Facebook ads, we're also looking at your Google Analytics. We need to have, we need to have a place where we can have something to benchmark off of. How you're doing now compared to, okay, now we've created these landing pages and lead gen. What's coming in now? Where's it coming from? So we need all of that information. I've only had one client one time where the Facebook ad information did not coincide with the Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics is pretty good, I would say, but it's not always accurate either. When we're creating websites, we are running it through testing and all of that, and we had one time 15 people on the website, and we knew that. We went onto the Google Analytics for the live view, and it said 1. So it's not always that accurate, but it does give you some information to base all of this off of. So there are other tools as well that you could use. So if you just want to DM me, I can message you. Peter here on Zoom is asking, do you have a recommended web builder for small businesses who need to DIY? Okay. So having a usability company and having a web design company, we work with many different types of clients. We work with small business owners who are just starting out, who don't have a budget to build a website. And then we work with big companies, like aerospace companies, where the website project's 6 figures. So we're all over the place. The one thing that I can tell you is that our new clients who are just starting a business or want to redo their website on the cheap, they'll use platforms like Wix or Shopify if they're an e-commerce site. The problem with that is that you lose that user experience, meaning there's a limited amount that you can do on these platforms. Very limited. They have their templates, you have to stick to them, and it's all about how the website looks, which is great. You might have an awesome looking website because you pick really good imagery or you have really good imagery, but the user journey is missing. When users come to the website, it's hard to figure out what to do. And so then they're just going to leave your website. So I always try to work with small clients like this so that you don't start out doing something on Wix or Shopify because you don't have the budget to do a website right now. We've done deals where, even a current company that just doesn't have the budget, we start you out small. So we still build you your website, but we can do things like, you just pay monthly. And, until your, $3,000 website's paid off. Or maybe it's a $1,500 website. It's pretty basic. You just want some information online. And, we do a $500 retainer. And then, in 6 months down the road, once you have business coming in, then you pay off the rest. We do deals all the time with small business owners. So, yes, recommended web builders, Wix, Shopify, that would work for you. You definitely could get something up. I have had some clients who have tried Wix. It's supposed to be very, very simple, and they can't figure things out. Or they get to a certain point because they're spending their evenings to do this. And they get to a certain point where they're like, well, I need a checkout system, or I need this, or I need a button, and I don't know how to do it. And then they come to us and it's like, okay, well, now you're paying hourly for us. And it doesn't make sense. So totally up to you, not trying to freak you out, but you do lose that user journey. Definitely. And I don't see any other questions. It is 10:30, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Again, this was recorded, so you will receive a copy of this. And again, I want to thank all of you for attending today. Again, this was our 6th Northwest Business Network meeting of the year. We're very excited to have all of you here on Zoom as well as Facebook Live. If you want to learn more about our group, upcoming events like next Wednesday's happy hour event, visit our website at nwbiz.net. And then you can go ahead and check out everything about our membership, our group. If you're thinking about becoming a member, I would attend that event next week. It's a $20 ticket, and then that way you can check us out and see what we're all about and possibly become a member. All right, everyone, thank you so much for attending today, and have a good one.